Good evening and welcome to Network Yisrael's daily Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Tonight we are doing Siman Mem Zayin, which is Hilchos Stam Yenon, the Hechsha Kelim Minute. That is the laws of wine and how to kasher kelim that have had wine in them. So Sif Aleph. Stam Yenon Bizman Hazeh, V'chein Maga Ovei Kechovim Bayayin Shalanu. Stam wine, which you nowadays, and similarly, if someone who serves a Avodah Zarah touches wine that is kosher wine, some say the eno also below bahna. Some say it's not forbidden to have benefit from, it's only also to drink. And therefore, therefore, a Jewish person can pay off his debt with just some wine that he bought that was not made definitely kosher. It's like saving it. So similarly with any other kind of loss, could go to for example, if he let's say he went out and he bought some wine, he can use it to pay off debts. But ideally, you shouldn't. It's forbidden to buy this wine to profit from it. And some are lenient even with regards to this, but it's better to be more stringent. You're allowed to make a bar from their wine. I feel even for someone who's ill, where there's no real danger. Yain kosher wine has been cooked, meaning it's been roasted, boiled, and through the boiling process, at least some of the wine has evaporated. If an idolater touches that wine, then you can even drink. But if you just have wine which you add a bit of some other fortified type of wine into it, as long as it's still cooled wine, but it hasn't been cooked, so it remains forbidden. If you've got some cooked food where there's wine mixed into it, but it's not recognizable that there's any wine mixed in, even if you haven't ever boiled it, does not become forbidden by an idolater touching it. So, Yain Mozog, if you've got diluted wine, if it's got 6 parts water to 1 part wine, then the wine is cancelled out, so it's not wine. And it's no longer forbidden if an idolater touches it. But wine made of raisins, which is made by pouring water onto raisins, and that's treated like proper wine. There's water which you pour on top of the seeds or the dregs that are left at the end. Anything which is good to drink, you cannot permit it if an idolater touches it. If you've got grapes that have been trodden on in a barrel, once a bit of wine, even a small amount of wine, has come out from them, or used a keli to take out some water from it, and everything in that barrel is called wine, and it all becomes forbidden if an idolater touches it. If you didn't touch the liquid, the wine, you just touch the seeds or the pips or the peel. Therefore, if you've got barrels of trodden on grapes that are standing in the house of an idolater, you should forbid it. They might have taken something out from it. But also, and you cannot allow an idolater to do the actual trampling, even if it's a barrel which has holes in the bottom. You should be careful in particular not to let an idolater take the peels and the pips from the barrels, even if once you've removed the first and second lots of wine. There might still be from those so in the barrel some wine remaining. Safe test. Suppose you have an idolater who pours water into wine. In this covering the mozgos, if his intention is to dilute it, then you cannot drink it. If he doesn't intend to make it better by diluting. I feel who's safek, and if not sure, mutter, then it remains permitted. Sif yain. Chometz yain shenasa miyain kosher. We've got wine vinegar which is made from kosher wine. If it's so strong that it bubbles when you pour it on the ground, then it cannot be made forbidden by a idolater touching it. If it's made from wine which you don't know what it's about, so then it always remains forbidden. So if you've got burnt wine, made from unknown wine which you don't know its origin, or it's made from the seeds, the pips, or the dregs, then it's like the wine itself. Something which is made from what you know was originally kosher wine, then once it becomes burnt wine, then the touching it, a daughter touching it cannot make it forbidden. So if you're based, some sort of wine-based salt. The customer's been spread now to allow it. Since you get no benefit from any moisture element. So if you give it. If the idolater touches it through some other means, or if he's not directly touching it, but he causes something through his actions that comes to touch, when you have to ask a chacham what the rule is. So if you do it. Someone who sends wine through an idolater, you have to be very careful that all the time you have a lid or a cork to seal it with 2 seals. The Jewish person who's making the wine of an idolater with a hechsher in order to sell it later to Yisraelim, he's making it kosher wine, but it belongs to an idolater. And there are lots of different dinim in this case. But sometimes even 2 seals and a door and a lock on the door will not be sufficient. And you have to ask a proper posek what you should do. And someone who's particular about himself should try and keep away from that kind of wine, because he doesn't know what the rules are. Vessels which have been used for wine of unknown origin. So if it's the kind of vessel which is not used to hold wine except for a short period of time, and the wine didn't stay in there for 24 hours, whether they're made of leather or wood, or glass, or stone or metal, the main numbers are possible. If they're not lined, then and you just rinse them out well, wash them out well in water 3 times, and they become mutter. Possible if they're lined, they have a different rule. In other words, they have a different rule. So if you decide, vessels which are made to store wine for a long time, that is, they are set aside to hold wine for at least 3 days. Even though the vessel belongs to a Jewish person, and the idolater stored his wine in them only for a short period. Nevertheless, they require kashering through pouring. So you fill the cup, the keli with water all the way over all the sides, and it stayed at that at least 24 hours from ace to ace. You pour out the water, and you put a second lot of water in it. And then it stays like that again for at least 24 hours. And you do the same a third time. But third washing doesn't have to be doesn't have to be 24 hours in a consecutive. If the water stayed in the cup, in the vessel, for many days before you pour them out, that only counts as 1 24-hour period. Some said, if the wine was stored in the keli for 24 hours, it doesn't become kosher through this kind of pouring system, because pickling is the same as cooking. But boy, how God, it requires proper kashering with roasting water, with boiling water. And if in a situation where you haven't got a great need to use the vessel, then you should be more you should be stringent to do proper kashrut. If you've got glass vessels, since they are smooth and hard, even though you might still wine in them for a long time, it's sufficient to wash them out 3 times, as we said. If you test. If you've got a kedi which had kosher wine in it, and they poured out the wine, while the kli was still wet enough to make other things wet, I don't have to touch there. It's enough just to wash it out 3 times. Even if it's a vessel which you could put water in, wine in for a long period of time. When we said that rinsing or pouring helps, that's the only way you use wine when it was cold. If you use warm or hot wine, then it requires proper kashering like it would be if it had other kind of osef. The vessels of our actual wine press. Even though you don't put wine in them for a long time, since you use them to extract the wine chamiri, they're more stringent. You have to ask a Chacham how you should go about kashering it. Any vessel which has been left for 12 months, then becomes admitted. Because definitely after 12 months of not being used, all the moisture of the wine must have left. If you used it for water, you had water into it in those 12 months, that doesn't affect it. You can still be sure that the wine has left it. Okay, have a good night.